Hey guys, I'm Matt Asplund and welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 tutorial. In today's video, what I'm going to be going over is how to create an automatic sliding door for your game. So if I were to hit play, I'll show you what it is that we're going to make today. So you can see we have this kind of door in front of us. If I walk up, it's going to automatically open and it's going to slide like that. And if I walk away, it will automatically close as well. So today we're going over having it do it automatically and also having them slide instead of normally rotate. So you can take either part of this video, you can either take just the automatic part or the sliding part or even both. It's completely up to you, but this is what we'll be going over and creating today. So without further ado, let me delete this code and I'll show you how I've done it. So the first thing we want to do is we want to actually create our sliding door blueprint. So now what I've done is I've kept this one just because I've got these two meshes in a specific location I like, but I'll go over how to do it anyway. So we're going to right click in our content browser, go to blueprint class, create an actor, and name this whatever you like. For example, BP sliding door, and then open this up straight away. In here, what you want to do is add in a static mesh, add in your door mesh, for example, just a cube. Place this wherever you want, and then duplicate it to get the second door as well. So that's important. You need these two meshes to be two separate doors like this. Then what I like to do as well is just drag them over to be in the middle and center of the blueprint, like so. So once you've got that done and you're happy with how that is set up with your meshes, I'm going to open up my original one again, just because I've got these ones in a specific location I like. Now, these meshes are in Unreal by default. They're just SMCube03, and I have them at 70 on the X, 145 on the Z, and minus 70 on the X, and 145 on the Z. Once you've set up your static meshes, we want to add in a box collision as well. So go to Add Components, add in a box collision, and then place this into the center of your blueprint and just increase the scale. And this is essentially if the player is inside this, the doors will open, and when they're outside, the doors will close. So make sure you just keep that in mind for where you're wanting to place it. So when the player walks into this, the door will open. When the player walks out of it, the doors will close. So I'm going to make it like that. I think that is good for me. We'll compile and save this, and then go over to the event graph. What we're going to do in here is right-click on the box collision in the components list, add event, add on component, begin overlap, and do it again and add event, add on component, end overlap. Move these up like so, and then out of the top one, so begin overlap, we're going to drag out the execution and do add timeline, and we're going to name this just open/close door, because that makes the most sense for me. And we want to make sure that begin overlap goes into play and end overlap goes into reverse. Not play from start, reverse, and end, just play and reverse. We'll then double click the timeline to open it up, changing the length to 1 second or however long you want it to be. So this is how long it will take for the doors to open and then also to close. And then we're going to add in a track and add in a float track, naming this whatever you want. I'm going to call this door track, as that makes sense for me. Right click and add key to curve float with a time of 0 and value of 0. Right click, add key to curve float with a time of the length you set, which for me is 1, and then a value of 1 as well. We'll then press the zoom to fit vertical and horizontal to make it fit the whole screen. And then what I'm also going to do to make it look nicer is right click on both of these and set the key interpolation to auto. And as you can see, this just gives us this nice kind of curve here instead of just being a straight linear line. So this will just mean that the speeds ramp up and ramp down to make it look a lot nicer and a lot smoother. So let's now go back to the event graph, and you'll see we now have this door track here. What we're going to do is drag in the door left and door right static meshes we put in earlier. And out of this, we're going to set relative location. And we're going to put that into update of the timeline there. Now, each static mesh wants to have its own separate set, so we don't want to have them go into one. They have their own separate ones like this individually. I'll move this over a little bit actually. Then I'm going to right click the new location on both of these and split the structure pin, and then set the Z to the location I have. So for me, that is going to be 145. Now, if you've also changed the Y, put that in here as well, but I haven't. I've left it at 0, so we do it now. And you'll notice I've changed the X, but I'm not changing it in here, and that's because that is the value we're going to be changing for sliding the doors, so I don't want to put this into here, as we're going to do that differently, which we'll do now. So out of the door track, we're going to come out of this and get a lerp, and we want to get the lerp under float. And this return value is going to go into X, as that is what we're changing. And then the door track doesn't want to go into A, it wants to go into alpha, so you can hold control and drag it into a different one there. A is the starting value, B is the final value. So it's going to go from a value of A to B smoothly based on our timeline value, and that value changing between A and B is going to be going into the X, so that is how we can create our own animations. So A is the start value, so this is for door left, so we'll click on door left, and you see the start value is -70, and then we'll just go to where we want it to be. So what we can do is just go into the viewport and drag it along to see where we want it to be. I think I want it to just be 170, so over 100 units, so I'll put B as -170, like so. And then we'll just do the exact same thing for the door right. So I'll duplicate this lerp, drag it into there with the alpha, and then return value into X. But this time it's not -70 and -170, it's just 70 and 170. And that is all we need to do. If we now compile and save this, we can close it, and we should now see this working perfectly for us. So if I were to press play, we can see we have this blueprint in here, obviously once you've dragged it into the level. And if we were to walk up to it, you can see that it's going to open. We walk away, it's closing. So walk up, open, away, close, and we can obviously go through it as well. So it opens and closes perfectly like so. You can see it's got a nice, smooth, sliding animation as well. So I think that'll be it for this video, as we've done everything we've wanted to do. What we've done is we've set up a nice, simple blueprint system in which we can have automatically opening, sliding doors. So the doors will slide open and slide closed, and it does it automatically when we walk up and away from it. So thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and hope you found it helpful. And if you did, please do make sure to like and subscribe down below, as it really does help me and the channel out a lot. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.